there really seems to be no crypto that has more rumors and more hype than XRP by Ripple. Every single day, you can go into the crypto Twitter, type in XRP in the search bar, and find an endless array of rumors, myths, some true, some not true, about what's going on with XRP, where it's going, and why it's going to moon today. Now, I'll be honest, I have a large bag of XRP, and I'd like to see it do well. And I see these posts about it's going to $27 today, it's going to $50, $1,000, $10,000 a coin. And there's just so much hype to go through. What do you know? What's fact? What's fiction? So I'm going to take you through just a couple pieces today. And before we go any further, remember, every single day in crypto is an adventure. And if you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button now. I'd love to see you come back for more. And with that, we'll get right into talking about XRP. We're going to talk about three things. A couple of them seem to be fiction, or not, I should say fact. One of them seems to be fact, and two of them seem to be myth. So we'll go through that. There are some true components of everything I'm going to talk about today, but as a whole, one of these is true, and two of them are rumor, speculation, and other things. So let's get going with the first one out there. But before we do, let's take a look at market cap. Bitcoin, number one, still very dominant market cap of 2.1 trillion, almost $2.2 trillion. Ethereum at 310, Tether at 152, and XRP at $140 billion of market cap. And so XRP is, far away from Bitcoin. People say XRP is going to surpass Bitcoin with all its use cases and all these things. And I'm not saying it won't. Just trust me when I say that I want XRP to do very well, but I'm going to be very careful how I buy and trade XRP and not fall into a lot of the rumors and the myths that are out there. So again, you search this crypto Twitter for XRP, you're going to find lots of stuff. The first thing is right here, and this one right here, they talk about, it says Ripple's 1.25 billion acquisition of Hidden Road may have unlocked access to $11 trillion day U.S. Treasury clearing network via FICC membership. Now, there is some truth to this, okay? So the DTCC, this is a public record, and the Hidden Road did have to become a member of the DTCC, but no authority. And what this does is, the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation does clear a lot of trades for treasuries, but no department has actually endorsed XRP to do this. So the speculation is that XRP is going to be the next clearinghouse, basically, for all the treasury trades in the future. Now, maybe they will, maybe they won't, but the only thing that this proves is that they signed up to be a member. And so while that's promising, I think they had to anyway if they're going to clear things and securities through governmental systems in the U.S., that this is one hurdle that they had to, basically sign up for. But it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to get $11 trillion a day. What was it? What was the number that they threw out there? $11 trillion. I think that's a year in clearing, and it would be very cool for XRP, but it's just not going to happen. So today, and so maybe that's a future thing, but this is very speculative. I would not take this as fact. I would be very skeptical of these types of announcements. I mean, there's a whole ton of them out there. Is it clickbait? Possibly, but it's informative. Read the information here. Just like anything, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'm just showing you what's out there. You do your due diligence. Oh, and they do say it's $11 trillion in daily activity, XRP to the moon. This is speculation. I like this post. This is speculation. This is very speculative. And it's basically guessing about the framework of the future. But really, like I do ChatGPT this, and it basically says that this tweet is just clickbait hype. There's nothing hidden here that makes XRP suddenly part of an $11 trillion clearing system daily. What actually happened is they joined the FIC's Government Securities Division in mid-March, allowing it to clear and settle U.S. Treasury trades alongside other broker-dealers. That membership is public via DTCC bulletin dated March 11th. But there is no announcement that it will clear treasuries. In fact, Ripple says it plans to use its enterprise stablecoin RLUSD for collateral on Hidden Road's platform, not XRP. XRP itself will only cover network fees on the ledger. Well, that is important. It will take revenue in from network fees. No regulator has endorsed XRP as a settlement asset for U.S. Treasuries or hidden anything. All we have are community theories and influencer headlines reposting the same rumor. So I'll post that as rumor, speculative, possibility for the future, something to think about, but this is part of the hype machine. Next one we're going to talk about, we talked about that, is the XRP ETFs. Now, this is true, but not 100% accurate. This is an XRP Futures ETF. This is not an XRP Spot ETF, and there is a big difference. The Spot ETF, on a Spot ETF, it would buy the coin, just like the Bitcoin ETF. And the Bitcoin ETFs have enjoyed about a $2.5 billion inflow this week. So obviously there's a potential if you can go buy if you're kind of risk adverse to some degree, but you trust your broker dealer and you can go to them, the person you've been buying stocks and securities through for years, and you can go buy an ETF that's SEC regulated. I believe a Spot ETF for XRP would obviously introduce more people to XRP and expose more people to XRP than would be previously. So I think that would help. But a futures ETF is really more making money on the volatility and not actually buying the underlying coin itself. So while it is true that there is an XRP futures ETF, there is no XRP spot ETF still yet to be approved by the SEC. And so that is coming. So this is partially true. There is an XRP futures ETF, but it is not quite the spot ETF. And so if you look at, I talk about what's the difference between the spot and the futures. The futures holds and rolls XRP future contracts traded on a derivatives exchange. The spot ETF holds actual XRP tokens. So it would actually help, I believe, if purchase the actual token, it's going to help with the price. The price tracking tracks futures prices, which can diverge from spot markets due to contango or backwardation when contracts roll in. I don't know this word. I probably have to look that up. Tracks the XRP spot price directly with minimal tracking order. There's some more things in here. Expense ratios. It's more expensive to trade futures. We know that. Typically lower on spot. Tax treatment may follow futures specific tax rules, tax like a direct cryptocurrency holding. So there's difference in taxation. And so they don't have any spot ETF for XRP just yet. Now, as we get into the last and final one, this one is actually true. Okay, so this is true that Europe's first Euro stablecoin, Europe, is now live on the XRP Ledger. So Europe and another one, I think it was Braza, are both going to be, I believe, are both backed by stablecoin for Latin America. These are both on the XRP Ledger. So you have two stablecoins backed by the XRP Ledger, one in Europe, one in Brazil. So it says here, I like this, XRP is no longer the future. It is the, show more, real assets, or the settlement layer of today. This is what Bitcoin was, or not Bitcoin, XRP. Gosh, don't kill me, XRP Army. This is what XRP was made for. It was made for these types of transactions. The ledger was made for very quick, very stable payment system, or transfer of money, or cross-border payments, or instant liquidity, things like this. And this is where, we're starting to see the beginning of it. People are saying that all of Japanese banks, trillions of dollars of assets, have to be on the XRP ledger. Don't know if that's fact or fiction. I haven't delved into that one, but this is what XRP was made for. This is what Brad Garlinghouse is pushing all over the world, and this is why I'm still a believer. I look at these cryptos like companies, and while I did invest in crazy meme coins and other kinds of nonsense in the past, I believe I'm trying to evolve a bit into understanding, because my background is in futures and options trading, on the different markets, the CBOT back in the day. And what I've learned is that, you look at the fundamentals of the business. And if there's no business, there's no fundamentals, obviously Bitcoin isn't really a business, but Bitcoin is a different asset altogether. XRP, Ethereum, Solana, Sui, all these ones, you have to look at them at like the strength of the business. You're going to look at their management team. You're going to look at what they're doing. You're going to look at their books to some degree, how much they're adopted, what kind of hype is around them. And there really is no more hype than it is around XRP. And when a lot of people are talking about it, it gives a lot of attention all over the world, and attention brings business, and business is what's good for the price of the crypto. And in this case, you look at all of this hype, you look at what Brad Garlinghouse and Ripple is doing all over the world. They're spreading XRP, and they might not hit every single one, but the more shots you take, the more chances you have for hitting. And that's where I feel like XRP is being successful right now. So yes, some of these things are not true, or speculative or rumored, but there is a lot of good stuff going around XRP. And if you look at where the price is stagnant right now. I mean, we're bouncing around. If you look at this, we're bouncing around between the 5.0 and the 3.8 Fibonacci based on swing highs and lows on the daily chart. And I like the daily chart. I love like shorter time frames, even better. But if you look at this one, we're just bouncing around. We came all the way down here. We are up from swing low. We had even where we are right now, we're still up 45% where we were just a couple weeks ago in April. So there is still a lot of potential. Even if we just went up to the previous all-time high or swing highs, we're still a bit away from that. There is opportunity. We're still 45% away from that. And then if you look at where it can go, it is, after that, it's price discovery for the most part. And there is a lot of opportunity if a lot of these things are adopted and if people feel comfortable and safe using this type of technology, which I think we're on our way there. So with that, that's all I got. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, put them down below. Where do you think XRP is going? Do you think it's going to $1,000, $100, $10, or nothing? Let me know. That's all I got. I'll see you next time.